What about you, Cher?
You want me to ask a question?
Yeah.
She's concerned about her bones now. I'm over 30, they're grinding to dust.
So just go home and start doing squats.
I'm now start with a 3.
Yes.
And I'm told this thing is just sucking the calcium out of me.
Oh,
that
yeah.
I need
Taking
even more,
everything,
so.
yeah.
Have you had your iron tested too?
No.
Get that tested.
Yeah. Great. Super.
Common in pregnant women.
Add it to your list.
Add it to the list of what it's taking from me. I'm just kidding. I love it.
I love it.
So my question is kind of like the connection between food and hormones and how they can be affected, especially in women. Especially because now, we're all on birth control, the pills, so we're all taking hormones, and then you get off of them and
Life
stuff hits the
is
fan.
nuts when you stop. I've been there.
To you.
Oh my
Honestly.
God.
So
Yeah.
it's just interesting. I would like to know if there's a connection between hormones and food.
Yes, definitely. I'm going to backtrack a bit and say something about the pill first, just because, I've had so many doctors over the year try to push me to go on the pill, especially because I've had, irregular cycles and things like that, and it's just, I tried it once and it made me feel so crappy. I actually tried 2 kinds and it made me feel so crappy, and it made my chronic pain worse. It made my moods all over the place.
Not for everybody.
It's not.
So I was
for
just
everybody.
no, and I just
loved
stood firm, and I was I'm not doing this. This is my body. I don't
But
want
at
to do
least
it.
you did that. I have friends that persevered for years with birth control that made them not themselves. But felt it was the only option. So they I felt so terrible because I also had a great experience with mine. 11 years I didn't have any problems, but I saw my girlfriends have body changes, mood changes, in tears, just more so than the average. I think we all have our moments. I know I do, but they were just constantly upset or distraught and couldn't put their finger on it. So kudos for being hey, it's not for me.
Yeah, exactly. And
Especially
there's so many
when
other
doctors were pushing it at everybody our age.
There's so many other birth control options these days too, and a lot of friends I have that they like the IUD, so that's a great option too. So
I'm terrified of that thing.
To each their own, right?
For a year, and I tried a couple different ones, 2 different ones, and it just got so sick on both that I tried, so I just haven't been on it for my
everyone's
entire
body
life.
reacts differently.
So
So anyways, back to the original question
that's
about that's a whole other track. But so with hormones, so actually hormones are made of fat. So the building blocks are fat, right? So you want to give your body the highest quality fat to build those hormones. So we really want to make sure we're getting a lot of omega-3s.
Okay.
So whether you want to do a supplement or if you eat fish or whatever options you like to do. And then other healthy fats too, including nuts and seeds. So there's actually, I don't know if you guys have heard of seed cycling.
No.
Oh, no.
Yes,
I've never heard of this. What is this?
You have different seeds depending on where you
are in your cycle. So the first, let me see if I can get it right.
Oh my God,
so the first 14 days, day 1 to 14, is supposed to be pumpkin and flax. So you do, I think it's 1 to 2 tablespoons per day. And then the day 15, I guess, to 30, it's sesame and sunflower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I first learned about that through a naturopath that I was seeing, and I was oh, that's really cool. This is before I went to school for nutrition and looked into it. And the main reasons is because, so there's something called lignans or lignans, however you pronounce it, in the seeds that actually binds excess hormones and helps to flush them out of your system.
Wow.
So it keeps you balanced, essentially.
Yeah.
So do we not know
We're
about this in school.
I know. I'm praying
crazy.
one day they'll actually start adding more nutrition education.
Don't even get me started.
But so that's the one aspect.
On my way home is get all this.
Yeah, and seriously,
come
hit
up
up
with
bulk
bags.
burn. I love
I'll be
bulk
Mark,
burn.
it's for your own good.
Yeah. Mark's gonna be oh, we're on day 14.
Let's eat today.
So that, and then the other aspect of how they help is the healthy fats that are in them, right? So it's giving your body the building blocks to build those hormones. And then on top of that, so hormones are affected by so many things. So another aspect is your liver health. So if you take medications or you indulge in alcohol pretty often, not looking at anyone in particular.
It's a normal undergrad.
Yeah.
Okay? It's
Oh, for
28
sure.
years
Undergrad
old
is
now. I have a drink and I'm in bed at 8 p.m.
But anything that puts strain on your liver, that affects how it can, because it has to process your hormones, right? So what happens is your hormones get processed through there, and if there's excess, so say you're like have too much estrogen, your liver's like, okay, I'm gonna excrete this from the body, but it can't do that efficiently if it's not working well, because it's busy detoxing like alcohol or drugs or whatever, right? So, and then the other aspect is, which I recently learned, is gut health, which I'm all about. But what happens if you have the wrong bacteria in your gut is there's a certain type of bacteria, which the name eludes me now, but when your liver takes the excess estrogen and deactivates it and sends it to the gut for excretion, so it's in a deactivated form, the bacteria can reactivate it and send it back into your body. Oh my God. So if you have the wrong bacteria there, it's like, nope, I'm turning you back on and sending you back in rather than flushing it out. So it's pretty messed up.
Wow.
And there's so many,
right
there's so many other factors. And then the last one that's so important too is stress. So we all know stress affects everything. But the way it actually works is if you're stressed out, you produce cortisol, right? Which is the stress hormone. So what happens is your body, when you're stressed, it will produce cortisol instead of producing hormones. So it's going the opposite way in the hormone pathway. So it's not producing what it needs to be producing. It's too busy, like, you're stressed, I'm producing this now. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah. And so then I always wonder, like, how did someone get pregnant during The Walking Dead? Like, are you not super stressed out? But then she got pregnant.
She's super fertile.
Right? I'm like,
she gets pregnant.
You're in a zombie apocalypse. You're so stressed out. How in the world did you get pregnant, right?
Is this the kind of stuff you think about?
Yes. The reason you can't fall asleep at night.
Like, wait a second. I know. Cortisol. I mean,
many
it can be that stressful, right?
Yes. Oh, that's the best thing ever.
Anyways.
All right, changing gears.
I love that.
So I feel like we're learning a lot about things that we should probably know about, that we have no idea about in terms of like what to eat. And but there's also a lot of stuff online that's like, eat this, do this. So I'm just wondering, what is like an example of something that's overhyped online, like that's supposed to be good for you, and maybe it is good for you, but isn't really doing like as much as people claim that it is, or it's doing the opposite of what it.
So are you talking about like a specific product or like a
just
diet
like,
or
just like trend, like I guess like
It's
trendy
like,
fruits or veggies?
Or like
all of
collagen or something. They're like put collagen in all your skin.
I blame Dr. Oz for all of this. When I used to work at this other store, and people come in, well, Dr. Oz said I have to do this, and I'm like
green tea supplements, remember?
Give me patience.
So just that kind of thing where it's like people on the internet or TV doctors, just like hyping up like something that you need to be eating a pomegranate every day. Like just what's something
like
that
you think they would know.
Well, probably definitely like kale and avocado. So obviously they're healthy for you, but they make it seem like it's this holy grail where it's like it's gonna cure every illness you've ever had. Like it's like kale is healthy for you. Any leafy greens are healthy for you. Like so is Swiss chard. So is like spinach. So like you can't say that it's better than I don't know. But the reason that it could be a little bit better in some ways from other leafy greens would be, so there's a group of vegetables called brassica or cruciferous veg. So that's things like cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, all the ones that make you gassy, basically.
everything I love.
Yes. And
fluffer while I grew up.
That's cute.
It was probably cute until a certain age.
Shut up, Mom.
oh my god.
We're having cauliflower for dinner. Everyone get their own room.
Because it sounds fun. Maybe you're more likely to eat it if it sounds fun. Whatever works, right? So these are all, so kale is actually part of that family. And the reason that family of veg is so healthy is because it has certain sulfur compounds that help to detoxify estrogens from your body. So it just helps with balancing hormones, and it's just detoxing in general. Like it helps support the liver. Anything in that family is healthy and doesn't have to be kale, like cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, all of that, Brussels sprouts.
So why do those veggies make you gassy? Is that like some sort of imbalance?
It's the sulfur compounds,
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
But is there a way to avoid that?
Why would you want to?
You don't love broccoli farts? Well, the best thing, things like that, and things like beans that notoriously make people gassy. You can take an enzyme. So the reason that there's Beano, right? So Beano is basically just literally an enzyme that helps you digest beans and anything that's like those gassy kind of foods. It's called beta. It's either beta or alpha galactosidase. I can't remember. But yeah, it's a fancy enzyme. So that's the thing with like digestive enzymes are great, but not all of them have that specific one in it. So if you are worried, like if those are trigger foods for you in terms of like being uncomfortable and gassy, when you're looking for an enzyme, make sure it has that in it. Okay. So yeah. And also cook it really well, because raw broccoli is just like, it's raw and it has the sulfur content. It's just like a double challenge for your gut.
Raw broccoli.
I used to love it with ranch.
Raw vegetables.
Raw vegetables
So
is life
good.
for me.
Yeah, I don't really like
No.
Yeah.
Even roasted. I feel like roasted
Roasted.
kind of gives it
I
like
like
that.
cooked
good,
carrots.
yeah.
Cooked
That's my
carrots.
thing.
Oh,
I'll just do like a
And
massive
brussels
pan of
sprouts.
roast veg.
Yes.
Steamed vegetables.
Yeah, I feel like they have no
Still
flavor.
need
when
that
they're
crunch.
steamed.
Like,
love them.
No.
I need like
Oh,
a
maybe I'm a
crunch.
weirdo.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. So that's that and avocado probably. Like avocado, again, it's healthy and it has a lot of healthy fats and it actually has a lot of fiber too, which most people may not realize.
Great news, yeah.
Yeah, but again, it's not going to cure every ailment you've ever had. Like it's not this.
And it's the
wondrous
reason you can't
thing.
afford a house. So
Yeah.
You added that $3.49
Yeah.
side
That's
avocado.
the killer.
Yeah.
Yes.
So many people post so many articles like, kale, the cancer-fighting veggie.
Kale,
That's
yeah,
exactly
kale is
it.
too much.
Just lower
for
your
me.
stress
I
levels.
love
Exactly.
Healthy.
raw kale. Like,
It's just like media sensationalization.
Yeah.
It's
That's
typical.
true.
Yeah.
yeah.
Quick fixes.
And Kinky, your question? I really like this.
Yes, mine's iron related. So I've been iron deficient for years, not to the point of being diagnosed as an anemic. I was gonna say anemic, anemic. But I've been on an over-the-counter supplement for, let me do my math here, probably like 14, 15 years now.
Okay.
So I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I used to take it every day. Now I take it every 3 days because I test my blood every year and my doctor sees where I'm at. But what suggestions can you make for women like myself who have an iron deficiency? Because my mom's been trying to make me eat liver like my whole life. She's like, just eat it, Michaela. I'm like, no, there has to be another way. Like,
I think it's a generational thing.
It
Because
is.
I worked at an old age home for a while and they loved their
They're like,
liver and
"Eat
onions.
liver."
And I'm just like,
yeah.
there's not many foods I don't like, but the smell of liver.
Liver's
Like,
just
and I
one
love
thing I
meat.
can't.
Don't get me wrong. Like I'm a meatitarian. But yeah.
Liver, no, it's a no for me.
It's a personal choice.
Yeah, yeah. I just I've done my research, but again, it's like a lot of internet fluff, and I just don't know, and what's going to work for me. And I would like for the supplement to go away and just maintain it through diet.
Yeah.
So maybe what can you suggest diet-wise that I should
so
incorporate?
You can definitely do. I think it's like legumes for sure.
Yeah.
Beans, lentils.
Yep.
Pumpkin seeds.
Okay, perfect, because that's on the seed
Day
cycle.
15 to 30.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm good for
Iron
iron,
good.
which is good for the
Yeah.
cycle as well, right? Because
Right.
when I have my period, my energy is
Yes,
gone.
so
I don't
most
have any.
menstruating women are somewhat low. Yeah.
That gesture was not.
My energy just flowed out of me.
Literally though, like I feel like a human, like deflated. You know those like flowy things.
Yeah,
And like
wacky
when
way
someone
of
kills them, I get done.
They pull the plug, literally.
They fall. I can get through what I need to do like that week, but other than that, my energy, like I cannot ask myself much more than working and doing what I need to do, being where I need to be, because I'm done. Like my body's like, no, you're tired.
Yeah,
You need
so
to-
it's definitely like the iron, especially if you have a heavy period, like that would be part of it. But I think too, it's just like that phase in our cycle, and as women, we have to just really give ourselves time during that time of the month to be like, hey, it's okay to do less
I
and
need
just
to
rest.
rest.
Yeah, it's like listen to your body and be like, if you're that tired, like literally tell yourself like, okay, I have to just rest tonight because my body's telling me I'm done. Like if you keep pushing yourself, that's when you end up with like a headache or something will happen. Your body's gonna get your attention one way or another. So you might as well listen before it gets to the point where it's like
I've gotten better at that. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, so definitely, I think those are the ones I can think of right now. Definitely things that are fortified too. So I think the fortified milks and things like that would have some iron as well.
Does
and
soy fall in that category? Or,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Soy
Because
milk.
that's my go-to. Yeah. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
How do you feel about soy? I know there's like some controversy.
Lots,
there's,
for sure.
Yeah, it depends, right? So
when I say go-to, I just in my coffee a little bit.
Okay.
I can't do, like I haven't had a
Don't just
glass
drink
of
it?
milk
Yeah.
in like years.
Yeah, so it depends, right? If that's not something you're having a lot of, then you'd have to reach more for some of the other foods.
Yes.
But before I jump onto that, I was just going to say in terms of supplements that you want to have an iron bisglycinate, which is more gentle on the stomach.
Because it is very,
Because the other ones can be quite harsh.
Yeah,
and they're not as well absorbed.
And I've been always advised to take it with orange juice.
Yeah, so the reason they say that is because of the vitamin C. So either you do take it with orange juice or you just have it with vitamin C. Like you take a capsule or some other form of vitamin C, like red peppers, which are also pretty high.
Yes.
Random fact.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
so it's for optimal absorption, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, what was your question?
Soy, yeah. I'm curious about the soy.
So soy, it actually is really good for you, especially menopausal women.
Okay.
But it's the soy protein. I'm having flashbacks to this one class I took down. Like, yes, the soy
What was on that
protein.
slide?
Yeah, like, hey, what slide? Come to me. Yeah, soy protein is what's protective and healthy. Rather than the soy, it's the soy isoflavones, which are sometimes used to treat menopausal women. And then the main thing too is it's more preferable, especially if you're a vegetarian or vegan and you're having a lot of soy, to have it fermented if you can. So things like miso and tempeh and things like that. At least try to do more of that than tofu and like the more raw options or edamame and things like that. So I can't remember the exact compound, but the fermentation changes it in a way that it doesn't affect your hormones as much. So it's always better to choose fermented if you can.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Yeah. I mean, it's good for your gut too, but
exactly.
don't want to throw off the hormones more than you have to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that just about sums up all of our questions for you, Holly.
Cool.
Thanks for coming
That
on
was-
the
That
show.
was
Another-
good. Another like mind
great,
blowing.
yeah.
I really like the
The
seed
seed
cycle.
thing?
I'm
Yes.
so into that right
that
now.
was
Yeah.
amazing.
I love
It's amazing.
it.
Yeah.
cool.
The things you learn from a naturopath.
Right?
Hey, that could be
No,
a
it's
good
really
hashtag.
true.
Right,
Hashtag
things you
things
learn.
from the natural. It might be long, but
Or nutritionist.
Speaking of hashtags, you can use hashtag #TheFreshTalk and hashtag #AskTheFresh.
Yeah.
I am sick. I am sick. But anyway, you can use those two hashtags to grab our attention, and we will watch your posts and see your questions that you have for us, or if you would like to suggest a future expert that you would like to see on the show in 2019, also use those hashtags or DM us and let us know.
Yeah.
Holly, would you like to tell our viewers where they can find you on
Yeah.
social?
So my website is mindfulvitality.ca, and on Instagram it's mindful_vitality, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Facebook, Mindful Vitality, pretty much all over the place, and Pinterest if you so wish.
Amazing.
Yeah, thanks for
coming on
having
the
me,
show.
guys.
Yeah,
It was
that
so
was
much
amazing.
fun.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and we'll see you in February, Freshies. Bye.
bye.
I'm gonna go buy some seeds.
Yeah, let's go to Walmart.
I'd like to conclude this month by talking about each of our individual goals and our health plan. Not only just about nutrition, but also about mental health and emotional health, just the whole package of what we already do in our daily lives and how we can really evolve that to make our routines better.